Good evening, everyone. Hello. Welcome to the Spoken Cafe, the Spoken Word Cafe. We're running this cafe from Milton Keynes Islamic Art Cultural Charity Organization. So welcome to our evening of Spoken Word. Just before we start, I'm going to run through a few of the housekeeping for Melly's Restaurant. So if you just bear with me. If I can just ask everyone to, when moving around, just be mindful of social distancing and putting your masks on. If you want to order anything to drink, we have waiters walking around and they'll be able to take your order. And then payments can be done at the counter at the bar. So again, welcome all to our Spoken Word Cafe. After the lockdown, we had a couple of workshops which went online, and so with the easing down the lockdown, we're now able to actually run a session in Mellis, and I just want to thank Mellis for allowing us to have this workshop here. So before we begin, I just wanted to run past and just let you know about, again, for those of you who don't know about MKIAC charity. So the charity came into formation after the 9/11 attack, and Mr. Anwar kindly thought about putting up a project that will enable break barriers between cultural diversities, religion, and various perspectives, using art as a way of speaking our mind and expressing ourselves. Through MKIAC workshop, we have had a couple of very fantastic workshops that's been run. One of the major events that's held is usually Art in the Park, which is a flagship event that's held in Milton Keynes at the Willen Lake. But because of COVID, obviously, in the last few years, we haven't had that. There are also a couple of other workshops that we run, and you can follow all these details on our website. We've also on social media. We're keeping up with the trend. So we're on Twitter, we're also on Facebook, so we have lots of organized events that are organized there. So please don't forget to have a look at our website, sign up for various workshops that we have, and also share with us your information. So just to give you a little bit about myself and why I've been nominated to stand up here and speak, my first time. So my background is in the health sector. I work with NHS England, a commissioning organisation. We commission services. One of the major plan for this year, in the next 5 years, is to promote mental health awareness. And this is particularly important for young adults and all of us with these difficult times. And working with Anwar, I'm quite passionate about mental health with art as well. We thought art is a very useful opportunity to express ourselves, how we feel, and how we actually address our mental health issues. And so I support what MKIAC does, and for that reason, I think somehow I put myself up, and I find myself up in front of all of you today. So thank you for the opportunity. We have some wonderful speakers this evening who are going to give us a different approach to their expressions, their ideas of art, and how they express their views, their thoughts through various art subjects. The first person we have online today is Hasna Weaver. She's a social worker, she's a mother, she's a spiritual life coach, she's a published poet and performer, and she's also a community activist. So I'll welcome her on the stage, and then she'll talk to us through. Please welcome her.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you for being here. I just want to introduce myself first of all. So this evening is all about roots and mental health. Being a professional, I am diagnosed with clinical depression, and I have these episodes where I'm completely dysfunctional, and that means that I can't actually go to work, and I just stay at home looking after myself. Being of a Bangladeshi Asian background, it means that I'm not understood, and there is a taboo when it comes to mental health. we don't actually have words in my language that explains what depression is, or anxiety, or sadness. Well, sadness, yes. Depression, anxiety, there are no words. And so people will say, oh, she's mad. You know, why is she sitting in the corner, not saying anything, not doing anything? She must be mad. For example, when I speak to my own mother about how I'm feeling, there is not a word that I can say to describe how I'm feeling. So if I'm having one of my episodes, I will usually say to her, I've got a headache, because I've got no words to explain to her how I'm feeling. And if you do say to people you've got mental health issues, they look at you as if, okay, there's something definitely wrong with you. I don't know if we can associate with you. I don't know if we can give you any responsibility. Are you good enough? All of those questions. And I can only speak for our community, but I'm sure it happens in other communities as well. So this is a poem that I wrote that I want to share with you. Explains how I feel when I go through these episodes of anxiety, deep depression, sadness, terrifying loneliness. And it's called Hear My Truth. You ask me how I am. I respond, I'm having a bad day. Ah, but you look good though, you say, as if that makes everything okay. You're not really interested in how I'm feeling. Or maybe you don't know how to respond. It's too difficult for you to hear my truth, my soul. The wounds of the wars you cannot see. I carry them deep within me. They seep blood now and then, not visible, yet searingly painful. There is a vast impasse in me which grows, so much so that it consumes me until I'm just a speck, unrecognizable. I try to fill it, but it's insatiable. The pain in my chest burns like an inferno. My chest is on fire. Am I dying? I don't want to live. I'm sinking, barely, head above water. Just when I think I'm going to make it, a huge, terrifying wave blows towards me. I'm trying to sing, I'm trying to swim, but I'm just too exhausted. How much can one person take? I'm too full, ready to explode, layer upon layer of pain. I can't see myself anymore, buried under the burden, flat on the floor. Do you ever feel like you've lived as much as you can? Like life is just a chore. Ambitions no more, time for quiet, want to shut out all the noise. Life has sucked everything out of me. Maybe death is a place of rest. In the prison of my mind, I'm screaming to be set free. No one can hear me. The fog surrounds me. I can't see. I question my sanity. No motivation, drained of energy. A zombie. A zombie. Going about things robotically, full of guilt. I'm useless to society. Why does happiness evade me? Sadness is my companion. My senses dumb. I am deaf and numb. I can't deal with life. I sleep, so I'm dead. Oblivion, I crave.
Thank you, Husna. Has anyone got any questions to us? I was going to suggest after the end, we will have all our speakers in the front, and if anyone has got any questions or anything they'd like to ask, if you just keep that in mind, and then we can ask them later. The next person I'm going to call up on the stage is Amira Anwar. Amira is very active and bubbly young girl who has no problem speaking her mind, and her nickname is No Filters. She's a young girl of 3, and she's going to give us a little bit of a surprise with her poem. Welcome.
This is a poem I wrote when I was in year 4, and it was Mental Health Week. It's okay not to be okay. Any day feeling any type of way. Just talk to someone, they'll know what to do because you know you've got something to say. You can be happy or you can be sad. Your mood might be good or it might be bad. You can talk to a parent, you can talk to a friend. Just remember, the love never ends.
That was beautiful, thank you. The next person I'm going to call on stage is Milton Keynes Student of the Year, Famida Akhtar. Famida joined Milton Keynes College. She joined Milton Keynes College through the ASOL program, and her passion was to study fashion and textiles, fashion design, and she has achieved this in her first, I think it's the 2 years, and you're going on to your distinction level now? Yes. Yeah, she's very passionate about fashion and design, so please welcome on stage.
Good evening, everyone. Finally, I made it because of my lovely parents and my lovely, very lucky teacher, Gemma. You know, my whole story just taught me this. Listening to your parents and tutor, you can achieve anything. The first time I went to college, I do know nothing. I just know how to make a clothes, but I have no idea how to get into fashion industry. I had really, really low self-confidence. I never thought I will make it. But you know, my parents and my tutor knows everything. Famida, you can do it. That made me realize maybe I can do it. I failed, I fall, I got hurt. I did get mental health issues. Couldn't tell anyone.
Go on, you got this. Go on, you got it. You can. Oh. Student of the year. Well done.
I wanted to stop everything. Stop just doing everything and hide. One day Gemma asked me, "You alright, Famida?" And my tears rolling out. I told everything, how I feel. I thought, I'm mad. People will stop me. You can't do it, girl. if you want to be a fashion designer, you can't have mental issues. You have to look yourself more than what you are. I thought I would stop everything. I lost my creativity energy, I lost everything. That COVID situation just stopped me from everything. My mom also got it. My mom is my biggest inspiration. Who saw me and who never stopped believing in me. So Gemma. They all pushed me that you are not going to stop here. You're going to fly. So did I. I won the Student of the Year. I never thought it would happen because of listening to your mentors, listening to your parents. Share what you feel. When you share it, you'll feel light. Now when someone come to me and explain, I'm feeling that weird kind of thing, I can't explain, I get it. I suggest her or him that you should do this. It's not ashamed of. We all get hurt. I should share a story my tutor Gemma told me. When you get hurt, what do? You take medicine, you take care of it. This is our mental health, we should take care of it together and we will make the end successfully. Thank you guys for being here.
Emma, would you like to come and say a few words on the stage? Yes.
Oh, okay, yeah. Oh, yeah. Didn't yeah, I didn't expect to say anything, but I suppose I could talk about Fahmida and the amazing journey that Fahmida's been on, and I think when you're a teacher you have lots of people come and go, but it's rare that you find one or two that you just see that spark and just think, no, you're going to make it, you're going to try really hard, and I'm here and I've got you. And when I met Fahmida, like she said, she didn't know anything, she struggled to speak English, but it's really inspiring to see that if you want something, then that's just something you've got to overcome, and if you really want it, you can do it. And to use people around you, and it's okay, like she says, to seek support. It's okay to make mistakes. It's important to celebrate the little things, not just the big successes. The little things that you do. There's something that you couldn't do like 6 months ago. It's always important to reflect and look back. And it was a no-brainer for me to nominate Fahmida as Student of the Year, and I let anybody know about it, that it was a no-brainer that Fahmida should win, and I couldn't be more proud. And I'm so excited to watch out for Fahmida and see what she does. She's going to Northampton University to study, which is fantastic. This is the girl that if there's a distinction to get, she's going to get it. And I'm just so proud of you, and I'm so excited for you, and like I always say, you've got this, you've always got this. So, but yeah, thank you very much.
Thank you. Just like you say, mental health is no different from physical health. So if we're able to take care of our broken arm or broken leg, we should be able to identify and take care of our mental health well-being as well. Connection is also important, and sharing is quite useful, because by sharing you're able to help manage your mental well-being. Next on the line we have got an award-winning creative writer, Amy Knight. Amy is a prolific poet, songwriter and author of the 2020 children's book, There's Two of Us Now. And I think Amy's brought some of them on the front. We've got some of them here. So Amy's going to talk to us about her wonderful poetry work. Welcome.
Thank you so much for letting me join in this evening. Before I say a few words about myself and introduce myself as a creative writer, I'm going to read a really short poem and I'm going to dedicate it to Fahmida and her mother, because I wrote this for my mother on Mother's Day this year. It's called Bloom and Bud. Bloom and bud grow side by side. Their roots are tangled, out of sight. They reach towards the wandering sky together, steeped in love and light. The sun gets high and then she falls. When Bloom's first petals start to wilt, the bud is there to raise her up and praise that strongest stem from which they're built. I was really excited about the theme of roots when Anwar said that that's what this evening was about. But I took it rather literally. A lot of the poetry that I write is inspired by the natural world, beauty in the natural environment. And one of the things I'm going to read for you this evening is some poetic flash fiction. And I hope that that's going to take you on an imaginary journey. But I know that roots is also very much about cultural heritage and belonging and sense of home. And that's really important for people at the moment separated from loved ones because of the pandemic. And I know that this evening we're very much celebrating young writers. So I first won an award for my poetry when I was 17. And I was presented with the Citizen Newspaper Award for English Language by the mayor at the time. And the story I want to tell about that is the fact that when I was studying English as a sixth former, my English teacher told us for our creative writing module, you can write anything you want. You can write fiction, you can write a screenplay, you can write a monologue, but for goodness sake, don't write poetry. Because it's too subjective, you'll never get good marks, everyone fails when they try poetry, just don't do it. And I didn't have that much self-confidence when I was a teenager, but something inside me said, I have to do this, I'm gonna write poetry. And I got the A grade, I got an award like Fahmida did, and that same English teacher absolutely ate his words. And there was one particular poem and he said, Amy, I wish I'd written this. And I just wanted to share that for the young writers, because you're right, Fahmida, that adults in your life can be a huge inspiration and support, but sometimes the voice inside you knows even better than the grown-ups. I'm going to read now a poem that's not mine. It's by a 15-year-old poet who is in Vietnam. And this really fits nicely, I think, with the Roots theme. It's called A Love Letter for Home. This young poet's name is Ha Trang Tran. Someday, when I make my grand return, I will take the long way home on a rusty motorcycle, passing by time-worn bookstores and French-wounded buildings in the fresh autumn air tinged with cheap cigarette butts and black cardamom. I will breathe in the edge-nibbled leaves that scatter the streets, tune into the sizzling sounds of the market, and confront my eroding mother tongue. I will dream the dream of calico cats that bask in the twilight sun, warm as the heat of noon, sweet as iced café soir. And when the autumn fire fades and the world is painted grey, while the skies stretch further than the abandoned train tracks that lead to the edge of time, I will no longer fit the part of the past girl, and the mirrors won't reflect the same way. The city will still hold me in the creases of her palms, tracing the branches of her phoenix hands, singing her nostalgic melodies, alley by alley, bent beneath the rooftops, that trickle raindrops like tears from daybreak to crepuscule. Where I come from will never change, neither on paper nor in creed, so tattooed on my heart are the memories of Hanoi. So that poem is in an anthology of poems by young poets who have won a competition. Rattle is the publication. They're based in the States, I think in New York, and one of the reasons I wanted to read something from Rattle tonight is to let the young creative writers here this evening know that there are so many competitions out there that you can enter and you can get your work published, and some of them you have to pay a small fee online to enter, but a lot of them are free, and if you'd like to talk to me about it, then please come and find me afterwards. Okay, here's my little story. I've been studying with the Faber Academy. They're a publishing house that you might have heard of. So I'm on a 12-week poetry course at the moment, and one of the things I'm really enjoying is finding different ways to use rhyme. I've always really enjoyed using rhyme in my writing, but I'm finding ways to sneak it into my writing in a really subtle way now, not just rhyming the ends of lines. And this is a piece of flash fiction. It's called Wake Up Hamadryad. Hamadryad is a tree nymph. So this is inspired by roots. I took that as a creative prompt. Her root emerged deliberately. I grazed my hands and cut my knee and bruised my hip. I lay there underneath the rosewood waiting, her strong arms, soft lips, for the breeze through leaves to shh my pain away. She whispered, "Stay." And so I knelt between her gnarly feet and pressed my bloody palms into the earth. My fingers reached into the cool, wet mud beneath, and all my damaged parts were soothed. I didn't want to leave. "Okay," I whispered back, "just for a while," and curled myself up like a child. My nails grew down into those roots. They were becoming intertwined with all the vessels of the tree. Her fine white hairs got tangled up with mine. Such a beautiful mess. My head was pressed against the trunk. Diminuendo, birdsong, faded, and I realized I'd sunk into the ground. My life was gone. My love was there above, but only as a soft, hushed, distant sound. My body wound itself around the rosewood, and my limbs grew heavy with the weight of damp soil pressed against my skin. As I became one with the tree, a woody knot formed like a scab. My throbbing knee was cooled and calmed. That sublunary thief clung on. She took my oxygen and secrets in the dark. I sank much further down into the dirt and clay and black, and could have stayed forever buried, but my love wanted me back. He saw my feet stick out like funny little weeds with 10 pink buds. He asked the tree if he could pull me out and sow some seeds, and while he waited for an answer, stroked my soles and wondered, what is she dreaming about? Felt like heaven for those languid hours, but I missed the light, the dry heat and the flowers, and so she let me go, the rosewood, and I rose back to the surface where strong arms and gentle kisses shone. All the dirt and blood and damp and dark were gone. My eyelids fluttered, limbs unfurled, and I said, I dreamed I died and buried myself under that tree. How strange. He noticed the dirt under my fingernails and smiled whilst lying next to me.
Thank you very much, Amy. Amy's got her books and her details, haven't you? So if anyone wants to take details from Amy, she's got them on the table. Our next speaker is Iram, Ami? Iram has been writing poetry from a very young age. She loves ideas of words dancing on the page and creating a piece of art for the world to see.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Good evening, everyone. Can you all hear me? Good. So my name's Iram, and the theme for this evening excited me a little bit, scared me a little bit, made me a bit nervous. For a very long time, I was ashamed to be called, it's gone off. It's gone off. Who can we blame? I think my voice is quite loud enough anyway. I don't mind carrying on.
We can hear you.
Yeah?
We can hear
Okay.
you. Yeah.
So for a very long time, I was quite ashamed to be called Pakistani. I was ashamed to be called Muslim. Do you want me to stop? Okay, I'll stop. Should we do 12? Can you? It's okay, don't apologise. Okay, so I think you all know my name now. Thank you. So yes, with the theme of roots and culture and heritage, for a very long time I was ashamed to call myself Pakistani. I was ashamed to be a Muslim, because living in this country itself, you know, it puts pressure on you, it puts pressure on your community, your family, and it's taken me a long time to accept who I am and to be proud of who I am and to embrace my roots and my culture. So I've written a poem and I've called it Humanity, because that's what it all comes down to in the end for me, humanity. You say you support the cause because of the so-called Equality Act, but when it's Free Palestine or Black Lives Matter, I see how you don't act. See, I'm bored of your questions, and I'm tired of answering them. Do you drink? Do you eat bacon? Do you wear that thing to bed? When you shower, does it stay on your head? In a world where androids are kind of taking over, maybe the next time you say, "Hey Alexa," you can finally find some closure. I'm tired of spelling out my name to the Stephanies, Siobhans and Sineads. If you can say Dostoevsky, then you can also say my name. I'm tired of being looked at in a different sort of light. And I felt it really deep when Maya said, "Still, I rise." Brown eyes, green eyes, blue eyes, all eyes staring as I walk down the street. I wonder what I've done wrong, or I have something on my face. Wait, I do. I have culture on my face. I have religion on my face. I have the roots of the ancestors buried deep within my soul. Yes, look at me. I am a walking, talking piece of art, heritage, tradition. I am the henna stain on Eid nights. I am the colour of bazaars that shine bright. I am bangles, red, green, blue and yellow. I am the street food at the end of cornfields. I am the villages and the broken roads. I am the sweet, ripe mangoes on a hot summer's day. I am the smell of curry for breakfast on a Sunday morning. I am spices, I am herbs, I am garlic, turmeric, ginger, roots. I am strength. I am Pakistani and I am human. And I come from all of this without being suppressed. And I come from all of this without being oppressed. In fact, I come from all of this without violence and impurity, because my culture and my faith would never let me trade my humanity. And my humanity stems from humble roots. It stems from working class families and stay-at-home mums. It stems from the death of my father and the sleepless nights of my mother. It stems from you eating biryani and roast chicken while we had beans on toast. It stems from choosing to pay for the bus or for lunch that day. It stems from getting a job at 16 to help mum with all the bills she had to pay. It stems from smiling on the outside while I was dying on the inside. That's what kills. I've laid out my timeline and it's not for you to judge. I'm simply showing you what I come and how hard I am to touch. So take me as I am, roots and all, for it's not my fault if you stumble over them and fall.
Thank you, Vera. That was wonderful. I can't top your voice though. I don't have that voice. I'll do my best. I know. Oh, I can sing the kitchen. Next online we have from Shenley Brook End School. We've got a student, Karina. Karina's been writing poetry since lockdown.
Yeah.
Fantastic. And you use symbolism and talk about your own feelings and emotions.
Hello everyone, this is my first time talking to people, so I'll be a bit nervous. Before I start, I wanted to talk a bit about myself. So ever since lockdown, I found this new passion of writing, and I found my way of expressing things through... Oh, it's okay. So throughout lockdown, I found this passion of writing and using symbolism through my writing, expressing my feelings and the things that I technically go through at the same time, and I let people try and find out what I actually write about. So this is my poem, Roots to Bones. Green strands spread kilometers wide as the girl in satin dressings felt her feet confine onto the soft feeling of ground. Blooms of all colors dancing to the blowing of a wind at a syncopated rhythm. The humming of the broken chords wrapping around the silence of the forbidden esplanade. The fragrance of the nearby ocean fulfilling all her senses. The coverage caused by her flowing locks, gleaming, scribed by the crying clouds. Running shadows chased her petite figure, claws ready to dig at her delicate skin. Standing by a blossom of a vibrant red, a cypress. It was a reminder of her night stars, the days she spent gazing at celestial bodies formed by massive clouds of dust and gas. In a place with no limits and dangerous admirations. It was the moment she felt it coming close, its merciless daggers inches away from grabbing her last breath. The evil laughter she was pushing far and far away, trapping her hearing and putting her at the edge of the track, the loss of time. It seemed to be the end of the climb, a finish of a tragedy between the shadows, heart and mind. A sighting soul, now blind. Her body twined in slow motion. The star with red light gazed from the ocean. A droplet of liquid trickling down from its petals and reaching to its roots. Twinkle, twinkle. Silence. Only the trickle of droplets snatched away the quietness that remained. The falling of blood-coated tears buried the girl's softened cheeks. Little star. As the rise of wind and echoes of humming melodies drowned the open silence, the veins of the weeping bloom reached onwards, expanding its cups with pure pain and wrapping the broken in an embrace of protection. The fire stretching and burning away its every petal, its every smile, its every root, and its every last breath. Yet the red star had stopped from the flow of droplets that had used to stream down to the roots that held onto dear life. Oh, I wonder what you are. The girl had collapsed, her mind left with gaps. It was as if she was slapped, the reality being too hard to undertake, as she watched the beloved take a break, for what seemed like forever. Above the world so high. She wanted to reach for the roots, hoping that its breath had not disappeared for what we call eternity. There was no eternity for the cypress, that to her held the same understanding as a compact soul. The roots had reached her bones. Roots to bones, she said, as the weeps of her heart encircled the skies and empty clouds. Like a diamond in the sky.
We've got Karina's teacher here. Do you want to say a few words, please?
Yeah, again, didn't know I was speaking, so I'm prepared. Yeah, thank you for inviting us here. It's been a really lovely opportunity to bring one of my students here. Karina's actually written that in the last week because she originally prepared a poem that we did in a competition at Shanley Brook End where she came second place. And since she found out the theme, she decided to write another one. So I think we've got a real talent here, and it's lovely for her to be able to see some of the other success stories in the local area, and I think Karina will be telling us the same story in years to come. So thank you and well done.
We have the honour of having we don't speak louder. We have the honour of the Mayor of Milton Keynes join us this evening, so I'd like to welcome him, Mayor Khan.
Good evening, everyone. Assalamu alaikum. Sorry I'm a bit late. I had another engagement in Woodland Hospice and I was stuck over there, so I rushed back to see my friends here. It's one of my favorite art and cultures. It's one of my charity also. I'm raising money for ANWAS and another one, British Heart Foundation. That's two of my favorite charity for this year. Hopefully you can put your pocket money in there, help support the charity, good work. I'm going to talk about BME communities and mental health issues, all that little bit about. It is important to note that BME, in terms of covering a wide range of people, with a very diverse range and need of different ethnic groups, have different experience in a mental health problem that reflect their cultures and contexts. Data collected in mental health and minority ethnic groups can often be subject to a small sample of size, meaning our ability to look mental health within a space of ethnic groups is something limited. For instance, there may be a small number of people from a certain ethnicity group taking part in a research survey. This means that there is a much more well-needed knowledge about ethnic mental health in UK. Important influence of BME communities in mental health: racism, discrimination, social, economic inequality, mental health stigma, criminal justice system, other factors. Racism, discrimination, people from BME community can experience racism in their personal life, ranging from casual slight, explicit, hurtful comment, verbal and physical aggression. Research suggests that experiencing racism can be very stressful and have a negative effect on overall health and mental health. There is a growing body of research suggesting that there is exposed racism more likely experience mental health problems such as physical and depression. Social and economic equality. BME communities also face with a disadvantaged society. They're more likely to be experiencing poverty, poor education outcome, and high unemployment. Contact the criminal justice system may face challenge, accessing receiving appropriate professional service, example. Unemployment rate at the highest for the people of black background, 26%. For the Pakistani and Bangladeshi background, 23%. In compromising with their white counterpart. Even when employed, men and women from the same ethnic groups paid less in average than those other groups in a similar qualification as experience. Pakistani and Bangladeshi community constantly have a high rate of poverty due to black and Chinese and other ethnic communities. Homelessness is a key issue among minority ethnic groups within 37%. Homeless BME background. Each of these can be act as a risk factor, development and mental health problem. Different community understand that taking part in mental health a different way. In the same community, mental health problems are rarely spoken out. They can be seen negative light, and they can be disadvantage to people within the community taking part on the mental health, engaging with the mental health service. Now, I'm going to share some of my experience with myself as a mayor, as a councillor grown up in Milton Keynes. I will say some of my experience growing up here. I'm nearly 50 now. Been to Lakes Estate, grown up there, gone to school locally. Been telling me to leave the country, don't belong here. Telling me I'm not right colours here. I've been to the school, pushed back from the school dinner canteen, telling me you should be standing in the back. Okay? Now, I'm proud and honoured to stand here as your city's first citizen. And I can't be more privileged and honoured to serve my city. And I want to give a big thank you to Anwar. I'm so proud standing and supporting his charity, which is an excellent job he does. And he's one of the Queen Award owners there. Hope we can work together more. And thank you very much for your time. Thank you. I do have one surprise I want to share. And I just thought I'll bring it around here. Shall we do that?
Can I call you?
Okay.
You just call them one.
Sorry, before the mayor gives his surprise, I've just got a few words to say. First of all, apologies. We had technical challenges. So the two speakers, learning about baked beans, it brings me to my childhood. You and I should have a separate conversation about baked beans. So I really enjoyed that very much. And that your friend is a culprit as well, I must say, well done. So apologies for that, and even to the young lady from Shenley Brook End School. Sorry that we had technical problem with the speakers. Can you all hear me there at the back?
Yes. Thank you.
You don't need to encourage me, but I can speak loud as well. So what I want to say before the mayor does his surprise, we want to say thank you to all the speakers, number one. Number two, all the food that is served, you will pay for it, by the way.
This is Anwar for you,
No, thank you. We want to say thank you very much. First of all, Mayor, he had another visit as well, and he was so. We are very grateful for Mayor for making MKSC the Charity of the Year, and another charity which we are very close to is the NHS Heart Foundation.
British Heart Foundation.
So we are very pleased to be chosen two charities that Mayor has chosen, and it is so important that we keep on supporting NHS. They have done so much work that is undeniable, and thank you is not enough. So we must this year and next year, wherever is possible, stand up for NHS and make sure that they get recognized and everything. Secondly is that these events are for the community, are for people young people that they have a safe place to speak, perform, and even mature ladies as well. We won't mention certain names, but I've got Frank here, he's recording us, so I'm sure at some stage, he'll be playing miracles, to keep us entertained. I'm hoping that the head chef will join us. But before that, please indulge yourself. And we have a surprise, Mayor.
Right, okay. Thank you very much, my friend and my brother. Thank you very much. I'm a little surprised, and I was involved on a Zoom meeting other than MK College. And because nowadays on Zoom and Team, you can't meet physically because of a social distancing, life has changed. It's I don't know, God knows how many Teams meetings I've done last year and this year. But what can I say? So it fascinates me to see some individual managed to award so much for our communities and spirit and name. And I contact him and say, look, I've got to do something about it, get a certificate or something for this individual to make it, example out for our communities that others can follow. We've got to have a role model. If we don't have a role model, other young people are not going to follow. I've got a 17-year-old son. He goes to college, and I was talking to him. Oh, no, I don't go there. You only go there and you go back to the play computer game. So what can I say? I like to call him Farmida Akhtar, if he can possibly come forward, please. Thank you. If you just come down here, so we'll keep social distance. Gujjan, I want to say that you've done so much, and I believe you deserve that, Student of the Year. And giving an example to other communities, our communities, BME one, giving a front line, say, look, these young people can achieve, we can achieve too. And I want to give that to you on behalf of the military kids, from everyone, a mayor of the military kids. There we go. Yes. Well done. Well done. Wish you all the best. Good luck to you. Thank you. Well, I think it's coming up to food time. I can see everybody getting hungry now. So I'll leave it on the. I think chef coming, is he?
No, we've tried to bring the chef across and just thank him for allowing us to use the space, but they refused.
Right,
Says
no
it's busy in the
problem.
kitchen.
So I think we come to end. I think they can start eating food now.
Yes, yes.
Thank you very much, everyone.
Thank you. I'll let everyone enjoy your meal. If I can just ask, this will now bring us to a close. So thank you everyone for coming. Thank you for giving us your time. And if I can please request, visit our website, I think we've got a Twitter handle, we're on Facebook. So please share with everyone, particularly the young people. We would like your engagement, we would like your participation, we would like you to tell us what you want to see in these workshops.
If on the table, you'll see there's a list that you can sign up for our newsletter, and that's the best way to stay in touch with us. And it's also really helpful if you fill out the evaluation forms so that we know how better to serve you, and yeah, that would be really helpful for me.
Thank you everyone. If I can ask the speakers, we will, if you don't mind, we'll call you a little bit later and then just have a group photograph all together after you've enjoyed your meal. So thank you once again for coming.